Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about Windows emulation on Android with not Win Now, but Winlator. And it appears that there's been a lot of progress to get Steam and Epic up and running in Winlator. So taking a look over on GitHub, and there's something brand new here. It's called the Winlator Core Fronts Pack. It fixes the Steam UI, Epic Games Launcher, and others in Winlator GLIBC. Winlator GLIBC is a fork of Winlator. If you wanted to see this up in action, PS LOL has a YouTube video showcasing Terraria being downloaded and also booting. In my opinion, this is very impressive for Winlator. Now, it's worth pointing out that things are not perfect, but things are advancing and getting better. I believe the game crashes out because the phone ran out of RAM. Steam takes a whole lot of RAM here. I think it's 1.7 gigs just for Steam in general. And then you have to worry about the game and everything else on top of that. So this is progress. It's not perfect, but it is progress. And speaking about progress, and also Android, next up we're talking about 2-Ship2 Harkinian Android port. Now, for those who may not be aware, 2-Ship2 Harkinian is the PC port of Majora's Mask for the N64. Anyways, here there's also an Android port, and it just got a brand new update that implements touch controls. So at the time of filming, version 1.1.1 is the latest update, but there is something worth pointing out. There's multiple versions of 1.1.1, the initial one which launched last week. The other one here, touch controls, which is what we're talking about, which launched at the time of filming 11 hours ago. And then a hotfix, which launched 8 hours ago. So I think the hotfix is the official latest version here. But at the same time here, we're talking about the touch controls. So with version 1.1.1 touch controls, they've got the initial implementation of touch controls. It may not be perfect just yet. They've got a toggle button in the bottom right-hand corner, and the entire right side of the screen moves the camera if free look is enabled. If you are curious about this one and wanted to learn more about it, again, like everything I talk about, link will be in the description below right at the bottom. I don't hide my sources. Next up is a quick heads up about PlayStation and game preservation, and it does appear that PlayStation cares about game preservation. So Garrett Fredley here works for PlayStation in the IP preservation area, and he just shared some very interesting information. So Garrett says, "We have crossed the 500 terabytes threshold of preserved PlayStation history at work. It's weird to consider what half a petabyte looks like considering the size of modern AAA titles. It's an honor to preserve it all, but copying hundreds of millions of files is super slow. I don't know about you, but moving forward, I'm hoping we hear a whole lot more from PlayStation in terms of preservation efforts, what things are looking like, what games have been preserved, and what they plan on doing with everything. I am very interested in this entire thing." Next up here, we're talking about a big win for Sega, and this is for Sonic X Shadow Generations. If you're a fan of this game, or a fan of Sega, or a fan of Sonic, you may be a fan of this news here. It turns out that Sonic X Shadow Generations has sold over 1.5 million units worldwide. That is huge for a Sonic game. Sonic X Shadow Generations was released on October 25th of this year. At the time of filming, it hasn't even been out for a month yet. And this game did leak early. If I'm not mistaken, it was also leaked online in a pirated form. For some context and comparison here, Sonic Mania took 8 months to reach 1 million in sales, and that game was hugely talked about and widely loved. Over on OpenCritic, Sonic X Shadow Generations has an 80 top critic average. 87% critics recommend, and 90 for a player rating. And over on Steam, Sonic X Shadow Generations has an overwhelmingly positive review score with over 5,000 reviews. If you've played this game, let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below. And if you're interested in it, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Next up, we're talking about Wine. Wine stands for Wine is not an emulator, and possibly something else. I can't quite put my finger on it right now. Anyways, Wine version 9.22 just dropped, and for those who may not be aware of what Wine does, at a very high level, it allows Windows applications and games to run on Linux. And there's a whole lot more to it, but that's Wine at a very high level. It's utilized in stuff like Proton. Anyways, here with this new version of Wine, it says Wayland Driver enabled in default configuration. Now, I'm not here to start a whole Wayland debate and go down that path. It does seem that Wayland will be the way of the future. It just seems inevitable. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think I am. Anyways, here on top of that, there's a whole bunch of bugs that have been fixed in version 9.22. including one here for the Steam Sys tray. It says the Steam Sys tray icon does not respond to mouse clicks, and that seems to have been fixed. On top of that, Dark Souls Remastered crashing with Wayland when trying to open PC settings in game, and that seems to have been fixed as well. Next up, we're talking about God of War, and the whole rumor mills for God of War are spinning quite a bit, and it's all thanks to Chris Judge. For those who may not be aware, Chris Judge is the voice of Kratos, and it appears that there's going to be a pretty big God of War announcement in the next couple of weeks. So Chris says something along the lines of, in 2 weeks, they'll be chock full of announcements and all kinds of good stuff. And we will be hearing back from them. So we'll have to wait and see what the announcements are going to be, but a lot of people are speculating on this one. So it seems the leading theory right now is it's something about the Secret Level show. This person says probably a trailer for the Secret Level episode with Kratos, since the series will be streaming on December 10th, if I remember correctly. And this person says, God of War kart. You mean a guest appearance in Bloodborne kart. That'd be hilarious. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below, and let me know if you think it's for Secret Level or something else. Next up here, if you're a fan of the Microsoft Edge browser, well, you may be a fan of this news here. You probably will be. And if you're not a fan of Microsoft Edge, you may not care about this one too much. Maybe you will. Anyways, here, Microsoft is testing out something brand new here. It's called the Edge Game Assistant. And it's basically a game bar browser. It's an overlay here to allow you to browse the web without leaving your game. And to be honest with you, it does look pretty good. It looks pretty smooth. So from my understanding, Edge Game Assist, I think I called it Assistant earlier on. Anyways, here, Edge Game Assist is currently in beta. I've got no idea how long it's going to take for them to roll this out to the mainstream, but at the same time here, I mean, I can see some benefits of this. I'm just wondering if it's going to require Edge being your default browser. If that's the case, well, it's definitely a no-go for me. I don't normally use Windows, so I probably won't use this anyway. But let me know your thoughts about this one. Would this be of interest to you? And taking a look at the comments on this video, this person says, this is everything I wanted. I was wondering why there is no real browser in Game Bar, and now you've done it. Thank you. This person says, don't you guys have phones? And honestly, that's something I normally do. Just pull up my phone and look at something if I need to. And this person says, no thanks, I uninstalled this garbage on Windows 10 to start with. You people should fix Windows 11 24H2 so I can maybe upgrade to, you idiots, a completely broken scheduler for Intel Raptor Lake on Windows 11. There you have it. And speaking about upgrade or update, next up we're talking about Bully, and this one has got a lot of people talking. So it was noticed here over on SteamDB. Rockstar Games added a development branch to Bully Scholarship Edition on SteamDB for the first time in a decade. They may be working on addressing the crashes on the PC version in anticipation of GTA Plus support once the GTA 5 Gen 9 edition launches on PC. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. I mean, here are some of the reactions over on Twitter. OMFG, it actually takes GTA Plus for them to fix stuff like this, LMAO, the greed. Only way to play this on Steam is with the silent patch downloaded and added to the files. No way it actually took the monetary gain to fix this. Surprisingly, Bully Scholarship Edition over on Steam right now has a very positive review score overall with almost 30,000 reviews. And recent reviews are also very positive. I mean, here's a recent review. This game is very good, but it is optimized very poorly. In my 16 hours of playtime, this game has randomly crashed on me 50 plus times, and with no autosave, you can lose progress very easily. So I'm guessing here this may make things a lot better for this game. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. Honestly, she is just loving that Christmas tree. She's up there every single day. She doesn't come downstairs to bug me while I'm filming. She just wants to stay under the Christmas tree. So that's where she is. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state.